Okay, big day today. I got kick returns and kick coverage put into the engine or into the play creator. So we won't do a whole lot of play creator stuff with it. I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna have kick returns and coverage be a stock play. Um, they're already pretty powerful the way it is. I don't know that I want to have a whole lot of goofiness around having these creating really weird kick return or kick coverage plays. I don't know. It's kind of a mosh pit anyway. So here's kind of how it works, right? There's your coverage team. Um, right, you kick it off. It's auto kick. I don't have kickers. There's the blocking team, and then it's just kind of you figure it out, right? So there's not a whole lot you need to do with plays. I mean, you could do some funny things like trying to get some angles on blocking. You could try to like return it around the end. You could do some things on your coverage with crisscrossing, but basically, the way it's different from a regular play is because if you're going to do that, you're basically just trying to confuse the AI. I mean, it's not the same as like creating a pass play where I'm just gonna try to get multiple receivers in this area to break a zone, or I'm gonna try to create a pick play. Like that's just I feel like that's more strategy. I feel like special teams and kick return is more about talent. So that's probably the last time I'm going to talk about that. But basically, we're going to have stock kick return and kick plays. I got to get in the center of my little window there. There you go. All right. So that's why there's no editor up here. You just got kick return and kick coverage. So the way it works is prepare it, you run it. I'm going to pause it a little. Nah, I'm not going to pause it. Basically, these guys run downhill until they get. I have a setting in the AI that creates lane discipline. So the when you reset the play, you see these lanes are where the guys are going to run, and they're not even really going to check any kind of AI until they get to the end of their lane. Um, it's just basically a way to allow me to make the coverage, get a certain distance downfield, and maintain separation. I can edit these to kind of create separation if the play's not working right, or if I need certain guys to close in earlier. I can do that. But there's a secondary AI setting that it only happens on. Well, no, it happens on every open field play, but you really only see it on kick coverage. And what it does is when you run it, you'll see. Watch these outside guys. They're going to keep their lane even when they've passed the 35. They're going to keep their lane and then try to close in from the side versus just running right at the runner. See, he's still keeping it, still keeping it, still keeping it, and then he kind of moves in from the side and closes off that, looping around that returners do sometimes. And that's because there's another setting in there about lane discipline. And what that means is continue my lane pushing forwards until I get a certain distance from the ball carrier. Then I can collapse. And that's a relatively new thing. I don't know if I had this in Desktop Dynasties or not. It was in the Iverson engine side. I don't know if it was in the Iverson engine or the head coach engine. I know it's in the head coach engine. And I made sure it's in this one because what happened without that is these guys would get downfield and then everybody would try to get the running back, and what you'd have is everybody converges in the middle, and then the returner just has to loop around and it's a touchdown like every time. Now what you get is this really cool. You basically cover the whole field. He has nowhere to go, and then they start to collapse. And the best path is following your blockers and finding room up the middle. So that's really what I want out of kick returns. Is I want the success or failure of your kick return to have a lot to do with blockers, to have a lot to do with the skill of the returners, and just luck. I don't really want it to be all about how run up the middle until everybody converges in the middle, and then it's just all about returner speed and getting to the edge. I don't want that because that's too many football games are like that. All right, so what are we seeing right now? We're looking at AI, and the AI, I've done a lot of work on the AI. Blocking AI seems to work pretty well. The runner AI is pretty good right now, but we're going to take a look at it and we're going to monkey with some stuff. So right now, everybody's set at 60 for everything, except the returner who's got 70 speed and 99 kick return skill. And he's got 99 because if there's a hole, I want him to find it so we can actually see that, hey, the return blocking is doing something, or the defense is closing in. And I want you to see that the returner is making use of what's happening in front of him. So you can see he's kind of looking for space. There's some blocking, and then nothing really happened, so he got caught. That was just a bad, not really good blocking. So let's try it again. He's kind of looking up, and a little more space, and then he kind of went up there and got stuck. So what is the runner looking at? I might as well just kind of throw this out there so we can kind of see what we're looking at. So what the runner is doing, the returner is, let me find my open field running AI. Here it is. What he's looking at is, first he's eliminating all the positions that are behind him. He's, pathfinding, so he's not going to run into guys. He's not going to run to places where there's no path to get there. And then we get to that's the elimination section of the AI. And then we get to the interest section of the AI, and the interest is upfield. So actually, we'll just look at it. We'll just look at it with this guy right here. So upfield, basically anything. I'm gonna move this so I can actually see my mouse over here. All right, there we go. So anything up above, I guess would say upfield from the runner is something he's interested in. So like over here he's interested, over here, up here, over here, up. It's basically, in general, hey runner, in general, move forward. That's interest. That's one of the interest things he has. I'm going to monkey with my windows so I can actually see what I'm doing here. There we go. All right. So that's an easy one. Find open field on self. This is all right. So this is a good one. This is one I spend a lot of time goofing around with, because this has a surprising impact on the game, on the play. So let's run this. Now watch. Yeah, remember the lines. All right. Pause. Give me a set of lines. There we go. All right, so let's shrink that. All right, cool. So what we're seeing here are these lines that go off to the side. That's the open field. That's that find open field on self kicking in. So what he's saying is over here's open field and over here's open field. And I kind of like that because there's nobody there and I can get some space. He's not looking up here necessarily. But he's looking down here and he's seeing that as open field. So that's what find open field on self is. So when you see yellow lines popping out the side where there's no players, right? Open field. Start to close in. Oh, there was a little bit of open field up here. When he's calculating open field, what he's doing also is saying, hey, can I squeeze through that space, right? This for a second was open field because there was a path for him to be able to run to, but then it started. Now he wouldn't look at that as open field because it's too close. It's been closed down too much. So that's the next day. That's another interest AI. Turn off the gizmos just so it doesn't. What else do we got? Run away from defenders. Oh no. Next one is closeness. All right. So there's an AI that basically says. So remember, there's the AI that generally run upfield, but what I also want is I want him to run upfield of where he is generally. So this is the. All right. So when I do this, see how he runs straight up, and he kind of tries to stay. He doesn't like loop way over here or way over here. He's kind of just making small movements upfield. There's an AI that prefers to run straight ahead versus run to the side. So that's another interest AI that I've added in there. There's a run away from defenders. That one's actually pretty low. It's surprisingly low because I'll show you why. This is a low one. Boom. Nope, not yet. Boom, right there. The run away from defenders, what it will do is it will say, okay, here's a defender that has a free shot at me. Um, Anything between me and him, anything that's between us, I don't like that. I want to run away from him. Well, the problem also is there's a defender, there's a defender, there's a defender. There's defenders everywhere, and if I eliminate all the positions that are between me and the defenders, this running back or the returner has nothing to do but stop. And um, so if you think about what we saw before in screenplays, see, and now he's actually looking for holes. We saw in screenplays, we kind of thought for a little while, like when the defender was right here, I was like, well, why isn't he running away from him enough? And that's why, is because if you increase the importance of running away from a defender, that also increases that importance for defenders that aren't necessarily right next to him. And you, anytime defenders start to get in front of you and wall off your progress, if that interest AI is too high, you're the guy with the ball is just going to stop because he doesn't know where to go and he's really afraid of defenders. So you have to kind of lower the fear of being near a defender so that it doesn't override his interest or braveness of moving upfield or following a block or getting into a hole. So it's a delicate balance. It really is. Um, the ratios I have on all these AIs, I mean, we're talking, you know, if you're going on a scale of 100%, like the differences when you change them like 5%, it shows up dramatically on the field and you start to get things you don't like. And then the last one is just basically a follow blocks AI. So if you watch him return the ball, you know he'll prefer to stay behind the blocks as long as he can, and he really only breaks away when there's no blocks to follow. So there's a follow your blocks interest. It's not super high, but it's kind of high. That just makes him want to stay protected. Oof, the defense is looking good right now. All right, so that's all the AI for the runners. The blockers have the same blocking AI that we had before. The defenders have the same defense AI that we had before. Really, it's the runner that's different. Well, not different. It's the runner that you can see more on kick returns than you could in like screenplays and things like that. So like if I go to the offense, right, and this is just for fun, you know, we go back to the screenplay where we really started looking at open field blocking. You'll throw it. It's the same blocking AI, same running AI, but with only just a few players. See, nice little cut. I did upgrade the ratios for the runner, so like now even on these plays it looks a little bit better. But it's the same AI. You can see him doing the same things. It's just on kick returns because there are so many players in front of the runner, and he's really got to follow these blocks. Like you can see the emergence of, all right, what is the runner doing? You can see that a lot more now, which is why I wanted to get kick returns in the game to really look at this. And so I spent a lot of time balancing it, and the kick return really helped me a lot. So I think the offense, like when we're calling screens and open field running on normal plays, is going to be outstanding. I'm really happy with it. All right, so let's look at a few more interesting cases. So right now everybody's 60s, right? Everybody's average, and you can kind of see. We'll run it one more time. You can kind of see it feels like nobody really has an advantage. I mean, maybe I feel like the offense has the return team has a slight advantage when everybody's equal. Only because it just seems. I mean, he hasn't returned one for a touchdown, except for that one time. But these holes, they're getting close. See, there he goes. He's always really close to breaking one, and there I broke one there. So they feel equal. I do like that when everybody's equal, it feels like the offense has just a touch advantage. But let's change that now. So what we're going to do is we're going to take this first wave here, and we're going to bump up their blocking. Just a little bit. Well, let's go to 80. And then we'll change up their special teams. And we won't change speed or strength or anything. We're just changing how skilled they are. So only the first wave, right? My big blockers, right? These guys were my offensive linemen before. And let's see the difference. So that one, that was a weird one. I kind of thought he'd go up the middle a little more, but it's like he kind of outran his blockers a little bit. So you can see the blocking success of these big guys is it's starting to look better. But these little guys are still getting just owned. Yeah, oh, that was nice. Okay. All right, that feels pretty good. I actually kind of like that. But let's do this, though. Let's take the top two defenders and let's give them a little boost. All right. So what we've done is these guys have gotten a boost in blocking and decision making. This guy and this guy have gotten a boost on coverage. Now these are your top two special teams guys. The way it works is you got like your top two, your next best are in the middle, then it's back outside, then it's these two. So like it's kind of like spreading the talent around on the coverage team. Here it's your best ones are here and then your next four are there because your best ones should be right here. That's just my theory on it. It doesn't. I don't know if it makes any difference. See, you can see the coverage guys are now starting to come on. All right, they're gonna close a little faster, and now, like this guy was one of the outside guys. He almost got to him. That was kind of cool. So it's kind of looking like I hoped. Oh, these guys are slippery. I'll be able to check the tape and see more, but it's like these front four guys. Run it. Reset. I keep forgetting to reset it. Prepare. See, I always click my buttons wrong. These front four against these guys, especially these two guys. Like, look, they just got beat. Just got beat. Let's do this. Let's make those guys better. Yeah, I know there's a bug. All right, which guys are those? It's 4 and 5. So let's give these guys a little more blocking. We won't give them any speed. Let's give them intelligence and run blocking skill. All right, let's reset that. Prepare. All right, so now everybody up the middle has gotten a slight bump on intelligence and a slight bump on run blocking. Boom. So yeah, so they didn't get owned as much. They still got beat. I guess I don't know that I want special teams. So on special teams, the bonus for blocking a guy. So basically, the advantage I give to blockers when they're engaged in a block, is greatly reduced. I have a very small blocking advantage here. Nothing like in the normal off. Oh, look at that block. Oh, that guy came around and got him though. Mostly because I don't want to recreate what I did in Desktop Dynasties, which basically have, 5 kick returns for touchdowns every game. I want there to be, I want it to matter, your blocking skill, but I don't want it to be completely overwhelming. I feel like they're blocking okay. It's just, the coverage is just getting there. So like they're coming up, they're okay. Those blocks are okay. Oh, I think part of the problem is my turner is just taking too long to get to the hole. He's only got 70 speed. Let's crank his speed up a little bit so he can actually get to the hole when the block happens. That might be part of my problem. Is my returner is just so slow. I don't want a returner with 70 speed. Yeah, see now that he gets to the block, he gets to the hole when the hole is made. It looks different. So that's something you got to pay attention to, is if your blockers are too fast, if your blockers make the blocks but don't hold them long enough for your returner to actually use them, that could be a problem. Oh, he almost got through. But then again, It's like I can't tell if these guys are too close or too far ahead. I don't know. They feel okay. This might be one of those things we just let it be, because I'm not seeing anything I don't like. I wonder if this is just one of those things it works really well right now, and we'll be able to tell more difference when we have an actual team and like guys that really make sense with their ratings, and then we see how it works. That might be one of those deals. All right, so I'm pretty happy with this right now, but just for fun, I'm gonna do something dumb. we're gonna um we're gonna jack my blockers up to the maximum size that right now I'm kind of allowing. Think of these as the monstrous units. I'm still trying to figure. That'll be kind of the next series of videos, is playing around with player size and what's too big and what's too fast and what's too strong. Right now, I just feel like it has to be less than 2, because once you get to player size of 2 or player width of 2, the offensive line and the running backs start to overlap when the formations come up, and I don't want my running backs to be 8 yards behind the line of scrimmage. So there's an upper limit, and that upper limit is 2 right now. I'm using 1.85 just to give a little buffer in those areas. I feel like 1.85, 1.95 might be the biggest, but those are at least for width. Height, I think I can change, and I can go up to 5x on a player if I wanted to on height, and it won't matter for positioning. It'll just matter for like the ball trajectories and things. But that'll probably be the next set of videos, is we'll start playing with height and width. But let's just run this with the fat guys and see what happens. So my massive blockers, let's see. Oh, they didn't even get anybody. Come on, man. Whoops. I probably did that again. Reset. Prepare. Ugh. Never mind. See, my button clicking is so... I just click the wrong things all the time. Let's do this. Let's make this even worse. Let's make everybody big. 1.85. We'll just keep them short. They don't all have to be really high. And you know what? Let's not give them extra blocking. Let's just change their size. See if that changes anything. Oh, that one guy. So what happened there when you saw the blue guy go inside the purple guy? What that means is when a player misses a block or misses a tackle, I disable him. So if there's a missed tackle, I disable his collider, because what used to happen was if I missed a tackle but I didn't disable the collider, you're not allowed to try to tackle twice in the same play. That's just a decision I made, right? I like it better that way. If a guy misses a tackle, he's out of the play. Guy gets pancaked, he's out of the play. But if I don't disable his collider, he blocks other defenders from trying to make the tackle, and I don't like that. So basically, if a guy misses the tackle, he becomes see-through, becomes a ghost. So that's why you'll sometimes see the defenders go inside of an offensive player, because he missed a tackle and he's a ghost. All right, so making guys huge doesn't in itself blow anything up. But let's do, just for fun, we're just about done here. I'm gonna watch the video. Like, we're kind of the stuff on tape. We're gonna play with size next time, so we don't really need to do that now, but I'm gonna do it right now, as I'm gonna give my blockers all kinds of bonus. Well, up to 80 for their bonus, and let's just see how much they kill these guys. That's a massive hole. Oh my god. Ooh. I'm glad we did it. Even though I kind of talked about running away from defenders, that doesn't feel right, what just happened there. That may need some work. Even though I know increasing this, maybe there's a different interest AI I need to create from scratch. It's not avoid defenders, it's something else. Like, So, like in a situation like this where the guy's close to the side or behind me, to run that way. Yeah, I don't know. I gotta look at that. That still doesn't feel right. Something's not right there. Because I should have the AI in place to avoid situations like he did it again. The AIs I already have should take care of that. So there's something I'm missing. All right. Well, I'm glad I got that on tape. All right, that's enough for today. Next time we'll start playing around with size, I think, because I'm really kind of anxious to play with size and strength and height. That'll be fun. Just push the limits and see how small is too small, how big is too big, and I don't know. We'll see how it turns out. See you next time.